Welcome all to this is something that's going to be a bit unusual. Figured we would try a podcast of some description, and here we are. You're talking, you're not talking, I'm the one fucking talking. To Fonzy from Fonzy and Company. This is just a little idea, like we were just baffling with a few new things we could possibly do. Wanted to update you with everything going on with the band. Those of you that are still very much with us after 2 years, I think now, just a little over 2 years. Well, you can count that as 2 years really, because lockdown, has been shit on all of us, of course, especially for the music industry in general. I mean, you've had some of those fucking god awful lockdown videos. Yeah, and we're fucking guilty of that and all. Like, oh man, like, I mean, it's no fucking like mystery as to why people did it. Of course, like, there's nothing else to do. You got to keep the content up. But for a band like us, who are pretty much anti-social media in a sense that it's not about the music anymore. It's about latest trends, TikTok dancing, fucking whatever. And it's been a shame that we haven't been able to see content from bands that we want to see. We want to see the live sessions, really well done live sessions. We want to see gigs. We want to see people talk about the music. I'm all for that, independent bands or otherwise. But it just feels like we've gone down this kind of shithole of shit content, and I hope rock bands aren't following it. I mean, says the guy doing a shitty podcast, but that's just me. But I hope you guys are all well. So we are back now officially. There's been a few changes with the band. You'll see that me, Sam, and Olivia, singer, drummer, are still very much on board. We do have two new gorgeous members, which we announced not too long ago. That is Mr. Sam Lane on bass, and we got a lovely Lauren Patterson on guitar now. Now, these guys have been fucking godsends. The set does not sound the same as it. Not to say it sounds bad. It sounds fucking insane. Just so different. It's weird when you introduce a new member of your band. Someone new. That the dynamics of the sound changes, and it's weird to see someone else's perspective on your music. You hear things that you wouldn't necessarily have heard before, and like, shit, I didn't realize I could do this or do that. I've always recorded the songs, and like, that's the fucking song. Like, someone can remix it or whatever, or do a shitty little rap over it or whatever. But when you get a new band member and they're putting their own perspective on it, and you're like, shit, fuck me, it just opens your world up, doesn't it? But it's so good to have these guys on board. We have been practicing hard, getting the set up and going. It sounded fucking promising. I must admit, I've never been so excited. I think I could speak for Liv and Sam as well, where it sounds like a rock band again. I think there was elements where I was trying to adapt and try and make it a little bit more pop, acoustic folk, going down the Bon Iver, Angus and Julia Stone, Nora Jones, things like that. Because I love that shit sometimes, and I know the new guitarist Lauren definitely loves that shit. But no, that was something I was kind of debating, and it's become apparent over the last year that when trying to book shows, it's been an absolute pain in the arse. You say, "Oh, so what genre are you?" You're like, well, we're everything. So what do you mean fucking everything? Am I putting you on with this death metal act, or am I put you on with this synthwave duo or whatever? And honestly, we found it hard to define ourselves through the music scene, and we get on a lot of mixed lineups that didn't make any sense at all. And I think we've just kind of started to come into our element of knowing like what the sound is about and what we want to do. We still like the fact that we like to vary it up. We like to think the fact that, not one song sounds the same as the other, but, we're trying to just vary it up really and just trying to see where it goes. But down the general path, on our EPK, when we tell everyone, we sound, it's Jimmy Eat World, it's Green Day, it's Pixies, it's Weezer, it's Brian Fallon. We've got this solid set of artists that aren't overly dissimilar, but, there's definitely... Well, there's huge differences between them. But just the songwriting has been on hold for a while. Again, we haven't seen each other in a while. And just be able to come back and blast out full fucking whack is motherfucking loud. Shit. Earplugs or no earplugs, man. Like, it's loud. And which is awesome. I mean, I've got permanent tinnitus. I'm not sure sure a few of you know that, but I don't give a shit anymore. I can't not have that blast in my ear. I was like putting my ear up to the fucking speaker just to make sure, like, to get a fresh set of tone in my tinnitus. Like, ba, ba, ba. And honestly, I love it. I think it's absolutely great. So what we still have the back catalogue. Last Birth, the first EP, is still on Spotify. Unfortunately, the second one we did after that, Is It Me, the 6-track EP that did really well. We were still very hyped with the amount of praise that we received on that one, and honestly, we couldn't be more thankful to Martin, our manager from Bespoke Media, for getting us all that hype around it. Unfortunately, now, obviously not to gossip here, we did have a previous manager before. I'm not too sure what happened there, but coincidentally, shortly after we went with her, we put up our EP not Last Birth, fuck, I keep getting those two confused, Is It Me, up on Spotify, and it got taken down for apparently illegal streaming. Now, legal streaming, I'm sure a lot of you musicians know that you can literally just Google, like, oh, how do I get Spotify players? And Google say, well, if you go to this website on our browser and you can get 100K Spotify views for $70 or $100, results in 24 to 48 hours. Like, fuck, man, that's good, isn't it? You know, it'll look great in front of all those fucking promoters that all they see is numbers. They don't give a shit about the music. They don't give a shit about anything apart from your fucking numbers on your social medias, because, I mean, that's where apparently the fans are at. And it's absolute bollocks, because I know so many bands do this. I know they go to those websites and they buy these likes, follows, listens, whatever, and just to make them look for good, if only for a second. And you'll see the rest of their tracks. You know, the Spotify dobs you in, you know, like, unless it's over 1,000, it's like the, I can't remember what fucking symbol, the sideways V. And 1,000. You can tell I'm an academic. The sideways V and 1,000, and that kind of, like, it looks shit. I don't know why Spotify do that. You know, I don't mind the whole 0.02 pence thing. It's bollocks, of course, but I mean, fuck. We got like 4,000 plays on 12,000 plays on one single, and 0.02%. If they rise it up to 0.05, oh great, I can buy 2 chomps now. Goes towards me Chomp and Freddo budget. But yeah, you can do that. You can add plays to your Spotify list, and Spotify accused us of doing that and took down Is It Me as a result of that. And just like, and weirdly enough, we just had a new manager at the time. I'm not sure, again, I've got no proof, I'm not sure what happened there, but I get the feeling that there's a bit of dodgy practicing going on. I'm hoping that's not the case, but you never fucking know, because you can't trust a lot of people in this industry, it turns out. It's a shame, because, you know, we're working hard, we're doing everything that every other band does. We're not exactly like the next big thing. We don't see ourselves that way. We like to see it as, you know, good, honest music, you know, coming from a time, from an influence where it was all about, MTV, the sort of 80s, 90s movie. I mean, even the 70s, going back to God, what's it? God, I'm trying to think of the name now. So it was a 70s TV show, not Top of the Pops, but the old Grey Whistle Test. That's it. So yeah, you get debut, like, you get Judas Priest specials, Dire Straits on there, just bands that nobody had ever fucking heard of. Coming on and playing their stuff, and you look back at that and go, wow, you know how lucky they were to get them in the prime when they're just up and coming. Like, these guys didn't know they were going to be big, and now here they are. And it's incredible that, you know, over time we've lost that. People aren't excited. I mean, some people are, of course. There's a great deal amongst us, but they're not as loud as those motherfuckers on TikTok. You know, all they want to see is the 15-second da ba da ba ba da da and all that bollocks. I was actually chatting to Sam, the bass player, yesterday on the way back from rehearsals about hip hop. I said, man, we've all got other genres that we can't get along with, like, or at least we don't understand or have made the effort to understand. Sam says straight up, yeah, metal, never indulged in it. And I was like, fair enough, metal isn't for everybody. It's a very niche genre, I get it. And he's like, what's yours? Oh, hip hop by a mile. And it's not like I don't like hip hop. There are, I gave him a few, like those old Jurassic 5. I mean, Tupac and Biggie. Naturally, you're going to say that just to cop it out a little bit. It's like, oh, what's your favorite metal band? Oh, Metallica. Yeah, Metallica. Yeah. Tupac and Biggie and Metallica. Yeah, there's go-to fucking names, but I mean they've earned that right. And I don't know if it's a generational thing. Every time a parent goes, "Oh, I'm getting old, man. I don't understand the kids' music nowadays," and I've never understood that for all generations, dating back to the 20s, even going up to around the mid noughties, maybe up to 10 at a push. I've always understood elements of each generational's, development in music. Should it be punk, classic rock, even disco, punk, ska, everything seemed to have a meaning for me behind it in music, and it's earned its rightful place. Now it's just getting to the point where it seems major labels take over. They have generic songwriters that they're songwriting machines. There's no heart or soul. They've got chord progression. You've seen those three Australian guys that do the 4-chord song? Massive thing on YouTube. They released this about, oh God knows, quite a while ago. And they play the same 4 chords. They're a comedy act. They play the same 4 chords, and then they do a medley of all the songs that the same chord progression, and they seamlessly just keep going into each song. And of course, like, there's only so many chords in the world. There's only so many progressions. There's only so many tempos. Eventually, shit's going to repeat. But to me, listening to Radio 1 or any kind of, current station or whatever, and I can go from one to the other. Each track or skip, maybe it's, I don't necessarily like that artist. I'll just go and see what's on next. And it sounds the fucking same. It does. It's a similar tempo, similar key. That fucking share voice, the automation going on. That's like, it's now embraced, that automation. Nobody wants to fucking sing a note naturally anymore. They just want to put that automation on it, and they fucking love it. It's spitting in the fucking face of people who can actually sing, actually compose, and give a shit enough about music to embrace their talent. Fuck me. Where was that rant going? I had a point there for a second, but I've totally lost it. Again, I am not used to doing things like this. I was on a radio interview recently with XPM, and the guys just say, "Oh yeah, man, you should do a podcast or a radio show, something like that." And I said, "Yeah, I don't really want to. I don't know what the fuck I would talk about. I would just go on to random tangents and rants." Fuck me, was I right, man? Yeah, but we're enjoying it. So we got like Last Birth, the previous EP. We got Is It Me? Really happy with them. Just got taken off of Spotify, so we moved that onto the Bandcamp, spread the platforms a little bit, and now we're just kind of practicing getting ready for touring. There's no tour set in mind. This is the thing now. All bands have been on lockdown all this time, and now everyone is motherfucking hungry. They're so hungry to get out and play again, which is totally understandable. But we were in a position where, like, do we want to be a part of this shit show where venues are going to be getting picking, like all the time from bands going, "Yeah, give me a show, man, give me a show. Yeah, we're really good. Yeah, I can bring like 5 people to your venue, man. You're desperate, you'll fucking take it, whatever." And we're like, do we want to be part of this shit show? Do we really want to be fighting amongst these bands? Why don't we just sit back, let the dust settle, let all these bands get in their gigs, and then we'll come again into 2022. We'll have some festivals to rebook that we were booked for in 2020. Let's just do that. But you know what, the hunger took over, and yeah, here we are, trying to get in for tours, trying to get in venues, things like that. And again, we got our lovely manager Martin now from Bespoke Media. If you guys haven't heard of Bespoke Media, please go and check him out. These packages are probably the best in the UK market, I would say, and for the quality and just for that communication and just having someone level-headedness was such a good, open, broad mind spectrum for music. He's your guy. But he's now just decided to start managing, and we are one of his guinea pigs. And honestly, match made in heaven. Things are going well, but I mean, even he's a guy as well connected as he is. Even he's having problems getting people in left, right, and centre, and it's difficult. Yeah, it really is. I understand all your bands are pretty much on the same level, but even in our hometown in Bristol, when we're trying to get shows, there used to be the courtesy of what was it like? You spread out your gigs, so you can't do basically within 2 weeks a gig in the centre, and then 2 weeks later another gig in the centre, or whatever. And I see bands around Bristol that, like one band in particular, I'm not going to name names, but one band in particular, you can see them got like 6 gigs in the space of a couple of months. So like all basically around Bristol, on the edge of Bristol. And I'm wondering, are these venues speaking to each other? They're just taking every fucking gig, which is awesome. Good for them. They should be able to take any fucking gig they want. But obviously, you lose ticket sales if obviously that first little stretch of 6 gigs they've got, that very first venue, they're going to get the benefits of it because everyone will be eager to see that band or whatever. And then, oh yeah, come and see us in 2 days' time down the road. And then I'm not going to see these guys. I just about fucking seen them. Like, they were good, but I'm not going to go out of my way to see them again. And then it was slowly going to go down the chain. And then 6 gigs later, your grandma in the back going, yoo-hoo, I went to all 6. And yeah, I don't understand that. I thought venues were speaking to each other now. But it doesn't seem to be the case. Just people are eager to book gigs and book it. I mean, that's how it used to be. You used to just take any fucking show you wanted. And this isn't an old thing. This was something when I was gigging, back in 2006, 2007. You just took every gig. I did a gig in a library, for fuck's sake. There's not somewhere to do a gig. Some dude's trying to read, like, The Hungry Caterpillar. I don't know what the age range of this library is, but I couldn't think of any other books. How weird is that? The Hungry Caterpillar is the first book that came into my head. I couldn't remember what the Sidewards V was called, and now my first academic choice of book is The Hungry Caterpillar. Oh, God, I'm so fucked-hearted. I really am. But yeah, it's hard grabbing them. We like to spread the gigs around. We don't mind. We don't really mind where we play, who we play in front of, as long as the show's there. But there's a lot of arguments about like who gets the money. Like, oh, if a band doesn't show up. I was on a podcast about a year ago. I was speaking to a guy called Simon Campbell, who's also a Bristol musician, and we were having this discussion about, who's in the wrong here, the venues that only give you £1 per ticket you sell, or the bands who show up with fuck all and expect to get paid. I think there's an argument, again, for both. I don't think it's got to be a case-by-case basis, which is, by the way, the solution to all things, a case-by-case basis. I mean, if you compare one situation to another, the elements are different, the facts are different. I mean, like, you're going to get a band that, brings 100 people to a show, say, on an off chance. And they'll get paid absolutely, say, oh, great, 100 people for the show, here's 150 quid. It's like, great, we just travelled from Bristol to London to this. That's 3 cars. So that's, 60 quid's worth of petrol, probably. We got to stay the night. You've made fuck all at the end of the day, and still you brought 100 people to the venue. That's 100 people buying drinks, possibly 2 rounds at a time, possibly more. It is a venue, it is a gig after all. You want to have a couple of bevies, unless you straight edge fucking hardcore lot come and ruin everything. Fucking hell. I'm joking, you guys have got good morals. I wish I had your willpower, honestly. That venues just got to realise that. But actually, no, I did have the situation where people did come to this gig, and I think there was a band supporting us, quite young kids. It must have been about just 17, 18 years old. I'm surprised they didn't get ID'd on the door, honestly. And they brought a fair amount of people with them. I'd say 15 people is a fair amount of people to bring. On a 4-band lineup, that's what, 60 odd people? Yeah. that's a pretty good. I mean, obviously it depends on the capacity of the venue, of course, but they all bought their kiddlywinks along with them, because they're all fucking 16 or 17 as well. They're all, laughing at Adventure Time and Rick and all that shit. Some of them they're not gonna buy booze at the bar, are they? They're gonna sneak in alcohol or get a Diet Pepsi, and the venue's not making money off of that. I mean, they might make money off the ticket sales, but I mean that's not really a prime injection. The prime injection for a venue is for get the punters in and buy drinks at the bar. That ticket money comes a very second priority to that. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense to me that venues should be charging less. I mean, obviously it depends again on the caliber of the bands, but yeah, venues should probably charge less to make it a little bit more appealing. I'm not sure why people don't go to shows and say, yeah, man, I'm busy, or I got work, or all the fucking excuses. I mean, all you musicians, you've heard every fucking excuse under the sun. I'll be ill that day, whatever. There's, and I don't know if it's a ticket price money that comes into tact with that. It's weird, but who knows? I'm just hoping live gigs get back to a good place. And oh my god, this was supposed to be about the band, not about me and my my shitty opinions. But yeah, we're trying to tour. Yeah, it's sounding good. I'm happy. I'm happy to go ahead. We've got Louisiana coming up on August 7th. Louisiana, if you guys don't know, is a really famous venue. They've had all sorts of the best, some of the best bands coming through there. You go into the front door, you got pictures of Travis, Muse, Amy Winehouse, Super Furry Animals, Supergrass, Superman, Super Bra, Super Size Me. All those super bands. No, but seriously, they've done everything, and it is always an honour to play there, as it is for to play in every venue in Bristol, because there's some absolute crackers out there, and it's going to be good. Free band lineup. We've got Land Captains and the Hound on the Mountain. It's a mouthful. For anyone else, it wouldn't be, but for me, it's a fucking mouthful. I'm just going to take a quick sip. That's some fancy Shiraz. Yeah, my wife bought me some... oh, no, it's Malbec. What, you don't know your wines? And, yeah, it's going to be good. August 7th, getting there 7:30. And for some of you guys, it's going to be your first gig back since... God knows, it's been a long time for all of us. Yeah, I can't wait to see you guys there. We've also got Camden coming up, Fiddler's Elbow. I ironically used to work in Fiddler's Elbow for a little while there. And that was a great time. And expensive, but a great time. Literally only 2 get. This is what I mean. We've been emailing left, right, and centre and not been able to get anything. We did come across a lot of touring agencies that... Right, here's the deal. There's a lot of touring agencies out there that essentially what they do is put you in touch... Not in touch exactly, but they set up tours. So they'll set up a good 4-band lineup with five dates, 7 dates, a fortnight dates, whatever you want. And they'll charge to essentially set this up. Fair enough. What they charge is for what you could do by yourself is essentially absolutely extortionate. So we used to gig, how we used to do it was we get in contact with bands from out of town. We have a fair amount of pull in our hometown. We say, look, dude, give us a gig in your town. Let us sub-headline. Vice versa, you come to Bristol and you can sub-headline for us. We'll cut travel to you. All the ticket money that you take, you keep. Or divide with the venue, however you want to do it. We will not ask for anything. Or all we ask is for a good crowd that we can sell merch in front of, and just open our music up to a bunch of new faces, and vice versa. When you come to us, we'll keep all the ticket money for that one and give you guys a good crowd. Yada. Everyone wins, no problem, because it gives you an incentive to sell for your own hometown as well. Yeah, because, I mean, obviously, if you've got no bands to split it with, then it's like, fuck, we're going to actually make money out of this. We should probably try really push and sell tickets. But that just seems to be what a lot of these touring companies seem to be doing right now. I understand there's venue hire fees, there's posters. Right, bearing in mind, like we have a lot of us in the band in Fonzy and Company have worked in venues before, so we're not dissimilar to how it all works on the other side of the field. And it's one of those things where these expenses just seem to be pulled out of the arse of it really the arse. I don't know which arse. A butt. Just pulled out of someone's arse. Just some of these expenditures. A lot of them were charging 25%, 50% of each ticket sale as well. And it's like, dude, for literally what? Setting up this show where each band has a hometown, and then you take 50% of their sales. We're all doing the work. We're not making any money here, and you're charging what, like 500 to $1,000 for doing that? Well, we could just literally contact the band and say, "Hey, do you want to do this?" Yep, done. I don't understand where this amount of money. Everyone's always on about like the government route, fucking up the music industry or whatever, and it's like it's on our own doorstep. It doesn't. We don't need to stretch as far. I mean, of course, the government's got its problems in music, and I'm glad some bills have been changed, some licensing laws, some noise complaint laws, which is great. It's still been very much battled against, but holy shit, like it's on our own doorstep. You don't have to walk 2 meters. I mean, management labels as well charge it. We've been absolutely screwed over multiple times by managers. Yeah, man, I'll get you shows, man. One of them openly admitted to me that they asked this band, one of their on their roster. They said, right, if you pay 10, it was something like 8 to 10 grand. It was something fucking extortionate. So you pay us 8 to 10 grand, and we will get you opening for Architects in one of their London shows. Now, a lot of people say that's invaluable. I, I don't know. I mean, it's the same thing with the Spotify plays. It's like, I'm sorry, am I buying into getting somewhere? Because a lot of people could. So they could just, save up a lot of money. I mean, some of you guys spend 9 grand a year on uni fees. What if it 9 grand a year? Well, that's 27 grand. Just put that 27 grand to support Architects and get all your YouTube plays and Spotify plays and all that, and then just be super famous on paper for a couple of months. Why not? And yeah, they openly admitted that to me. And I'm like, oh, don't fucking admit that. Like, we're paying you to manage us and to get shows and to hype us up, and not just for us to sit around and you do all the work. If you need something from it, you need new photos, you need a video, you need merch, whatever, we will provide, because we're a hardworking band and we do take what we do seriously. Again, small time. I'm not going to pretend we're anything bigger than we are. We are still very much. We're almost starting again after lockdown. It's fucking insane. And yeah, as I said, it's all on our doorstep. The amount of people screwing over bands that pretend that they're your friend, pretends that, we just want to get you guys somewhere. And it's like, obviously services cost money. I understand that totally. But there's been some occasions where we were sitting on 3 months with no result. I think we'd spent something upwards of £300-400 in 3 months. And again, between 5 guys, not that much. But it's kind of the principle of like, well, that's £300 down the drain now. That's a day's recording studio in some places. That's a new line of merch almost in some cases. And it's just like, where's this money going? And then when you ask for results, because these guys are quite reputable, you feel a little bit intimidated asking for them, because you see all these bands saying like, oh yeah, hashtag our management, and then a lot of smaller bands get intimidated because they can't say, they can't quite call them on their bullshit, because if they do, they'll have all these fucking bands that are fucking stupid, like going, getting on your Facebook, getting on your little keyboard, getting all fucking troll patrol, and just going like, yeah, well, you don't understand, it's like, clearly you're a shit band or whatever. And it's like, well, no, dudes, this didn't happen to us. It's happened to a few bands I know, but it hasn't happened to us, fortunately. No, but us as a band, we're essentially almost DIY at this point. All the stuff we've self-produced ourselves with the help of a friend. Yeah, it's we've come this far with it, and it's just getting to the point where labels are becoming redundant. I'd say if anyone's asking you for money, break it down, ask for the specifics, and just see where that money is going. I mean, again, like a lot of these guys were saying, "Oh yeah, 10% of it goes, or 20% goes to advertising." It's like, motherfucker, I hadn't seen an advert. I've seen that fucking new Matt Clay advert. You guys seen that one? The guy's in the barber's chair. He's got fuck all hair on his head. It's like, oh, a little off the top, mate. No, not there. No, not there. Then he just whips out the Matt Clay and just dollops a bit of it in his head. He's like, says something like, sophisticated. But I ain't seen a fucking advert for Fonzy and Company yet. I'm not saying I'm going to see it on Channel 4. I'm not going to be like flicking through old in-betweeners episodes and go, oh yeah, there's our band. Yeah, great. That 10-20% is done as well. But like even a Facebook advert, just something. Holy shit, dude. Like we've gotten to grips with if you bands like want to do this by yourselves, there are so many people that can help you and have such a much better understanding of how SEOs work, how social media marketing works. We've worked with a few people who have been fucking incredible and have such a good understanding. Again, we're not a band that are into social trends. We know what we like and we know what we like to represent and who we like to represent. And social media, unfortunately, is a massive part of that. And if you've got to do a dance every now and then to some 15-minute segment of Cardi B's latest fucking track, then, you know, good for you. But it just goes to show about the person you are as a character. You know, you're not doing it for the music, you're doing it for trends, and you're doing it because it's the hot topic. Yeah, that's just my... Like, oh my god, he's speaking such shit right now. He doesn't even know what he's fucking talking about. He's only been in the band for 5 minutes. It's true. I'm not going to pretend I haven't had my share of experiences, but I'm not going to pretend, again, I'm anything bigger than we are. We're just 5 dudes, you know, trying to just spread some love and just trying to, you know, have a good time. But Fonzy and Company, yeah, we're not sure what we're doing. We might do a regular segmented podcast. Who knows? It's just something we're giving a go and just seeing how you guys feel about it. And, you know, it's so good to always see you guys involved with the band. And, you know, you guys are always... It's quite nice in a way because when we release a track or a video... Admittedly, like sometimes we'll get huge hits, like the track will soar. And I'll just give an example of our latest record, Beyond My Control. I was really, really under the impression this was going to be like the best one we had done, and definitely wasn't. We've done, you know, triple, quadruple the amount that we first did when Last Birth or Is It Me came out. But the fact that you guys always came up to me or gave us a message behind the scenes, not necessarily on social media, and we didn't even know who had listened to it at this point. And you guys had message behind the scenes just to say, by the way, I fucking love Beyond My Control. That was the latest single that we released, and that was just so. There is a lot of these messages as well. I'm not talking like one or two like individual situations. I'm talking like a bunch. Like a good like double digit like headers of you like just coming up to us and saying like, by the way, I fucking love this track. And it's like, oh well, you could have fucking liked it on Facebook. But it's like we're an anti-social band. You know, a lot of the guys in the band are on social media, and that's, you know, on them. But, you know, as an overall perception of the lyric writing and everything like that, you know, it is an anti-social media band. It's like the idea of having too much power and to think we have more of an opinion than we do, but all you're doing is, you know, putting it up in the virtual world and not actually making any impact. Where people used to protest, people used to sign bills, people used to actually turn up and say something. And, you know, social media just seems to be like the new alternative to that, which is giving people power. You know, I'm not going to go through the whole fucking philosophy of the lyricism and that, but you know what? Our fans are, you know, like us in a way, because they're not ones to go, oh yeah, dude, like, oh, but smash it, guys. Hashtag band. You can tell I'm really up to date with my lingo. Hashtag band. Like, yes, we are a band. Well done, you have established. And it's just so nice to see people just behind, you know, real words from real people, not just posting it on you know, a comment box. You know, actually taking the time to, you know, give us some people have called me just to say, I fucking love this track. I think it's awesome. I think it's some of your best work that you've done so far. And that's great. And I would trade that in for all the fucking Instagram likes in the world. I really would, because it's superficial at the end of the day. Real love from real music shows real prospects, and I really hope that eventually comes around to changing. But for now, we are stuck with whatever the fuck is going on right now. I'm not saying there's not very talented musicians out there. Sam, bass player again, introduced me to, I want to say, Pimp My Butterfly or Pimp the Butterfly, Kendrick Lamar. So apparently this is a game changer for the R&B rap game. And you know what? I will fucking listen to it. I will give anything a try once. I will. And fuck it, why not? Because there are some good musicians still out there. There's some incredible bands out there that aren't getting the satisfaction, well, aren't getting the recognition that they deserve. Definitely not. And it's up to us, as the punters, not to necessarily smash that like button like a boss or whatever the fuck. I can't believe that's still a thing, by the way. How's that? I mean, flossing died. Why the fuck is that still a thing?
Hey guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hey guys, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, Kermit the Frog has his own YouTube channel, did you know? But guys, keep listening to the music. Honestly, just keep up to date. And if you guys like this kind of podcast thing, if you like the idea, just let us know. And we'll be more than happy to maybe get some fellow musicians on and, just get talking. It's good. We like to think it's good to talk. Punk is about debate and open and being angry and having the right to, express yourself in a way that you feel is viable, whether it everyone else agrees with you or not, and whether you just have the moral principles there to have a message that should inflict positivity on your world. I'm sounding like a right fucking hippie now. Jesus Christ, I can see my Birkenstocks growing out of my fucking toes from here. Jesus. Right, before I get on with any of that happy bullshit, I'm just going to say right, thank you so much again, and we'll see you at Louisiana on the 7th of August in Bristol, or we'll see you in Camden, Fiddler's Elbow on the 16th of October. And again, if you guys want to see anything in particular on this podcast, or if you just want me to shut the fuck up and never do this again, I would completely understand. Until then, see ya.